Welcome to Freeprep, your ultimate destination for historical journeys and epic tales. Did you know about the fascinating origins of Russia? Over 1,000 years ago, Viking traders and Slavic tribes began to interact and merge. Vikings, known as the Rus, sailed from Scandinavia, establishing trading posts. They intermingled with Slavs, adopting their languages and customs. This blend of cultures formed the Kievan Rus, ruled by Viking descendants. Centered around Kiev, it flourished as a trade and cultural hub. In 988 AD, Prince Vladimir converted to Christianity, aligning with the Byzantine Empire. Internal conflicts and Mongol invasions led to its fragmentation, shaping Russian history. As the Kievan Rus crumbled, a new power emerged in the east. The Principality of Moscow, initially a small trading outpost, steadily grew in influence. The princes of Moscow skillfully navigated the complex web of alliances and rivalries, gradually consolidating their power. A defining moment came with Ivan III, known as Ivan the Great. He finally threw off the yoke of Mongol rule, declaring himself Tsar of all Rus. This marked the birth of a new era, one where the Tsars of Moscow would claim the legacy of the Byzantine Empire and strive to unite all Eastern Slavic peoples under their rule. Ivan's successors continued his expansionist policies, pushing Russia's borders further east across Siberia and engaging in conflicts with neighboring powers like Poland and Sweden. The Tsardom of Russia, with its distinctive autocratic traditions and growing ambitions, had arrived on the world stage. By the late 17th century, Russia found itself lagging behind Western Europe in terms of technology, military power, and societal development. This is where Peter the Great, a Tsar of immense ambition and energy, enters the stage. Peter embarked on a series of radical reforms aimed at modernizing Russia. He traveled to Western Europe in disguise, learning about shipbuilding, navigation, and other technologies. Upon his return, he implemented sweeping changes, building a new navy, reorganizing the army along Western lines, and introducing new administrative systems. Perhaps his most lasting legacy was the founding of St. Petersburg. Built on the shores of the Baltic Sea, this new capital, with its grand palaces and European-style architecture, served as a symbol of Peter's vision for a modern, outward-looking Russia. Peter's reforms, though often brutal and unpopular, transformed Russia into a major European power. Gap 3S. As the world plunged into the chaos of World War II, Russia, then part of the Soviet Union, played a pivotal role in the Allied victory. The Eastern Front was the largest and bloodiest theater of war, with the Battle of Stalingrad marking a turning point. The Soviet Union's immense sacrifices and military strategies were crucial in defeating Nazi Germany. This period also saw the emergence of Russia as a superpower, setting the stage for the Cold War. Gap 3S. Following World War II, the world entered a new era of geopolitical tension known as the Cold War. The Soviet Union and the United States emerged as rival superpowers, leading to a prolonged period of political and military standoff. Key events like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the space race, and the arms race defined this era. The Cold War also saw the spread of Soviet influence across Eastern Europe and beyond, shaping global politics for decades. Gap 2S. The Cuban Missile Crisis brought the world to the brink of nuclear war, highlighting the stakes of this intense rivalry. The space race showcased the technological prowess of both nations, with the Soviet Union achieving the first human spaceflight. Meanwhile, the arms race saw both superpowers amassing vast arsenals of nuclear weapons, creating a global atmosphere of fear and uncertainty. Gap 2S. Throughout this period, the Soviet Union sought to expand its ideological influence, supporting communist movements and regimes around the world. This era also saw the establishment of the Warsaw Pact, a military alliance of Soviet-aligned nations, countering NATO in the West. Gap 2S. The Cold War wasn't just about military might, it was a battle of ideologies, with both sides vying for global dominance. The Soviet Union's influence extended into Asia, Africa, and Latin America, creating a complex web of alliances and conflicts. This period profoundly shaped the modern world, leaving a legacy that continues to influence international relations today. Gap 3S. In the post-Cold War era, Russia has undergone significant political and economic transformations. The dissolution of the Soviet Union in 1991 led to the emergence of new independent states, reshaping the geopolitical landscape. Today, Russia remains a major global player with its actions on the international stage closely watched. Issues such as its involvement in regional conflicts, its relationship with Western powers, and its internal political dynamics continue to influence global affairs. Gap 2S. The transition from a Soviet system to a more market-oriented economy was tumultuous, marked by economic hardship and political instability in the 1990s. However, under the leadership of Vladimir Putin, Russia has sought to reassert its influence both regionally and globally. Gap 2S, the annexation of Crimea in 2014, its involvement in the Syrian civil war, and allegations of interference in foreign elections have brought Russia into the spotlight, often leading to strained relations with the West. Gap 2S. Domestically, Russia faces challenges such as corruption, a shrinking population, and political dissent. Despite these issues, it continues to play a crucial role in international organizations and diplomatic efforts. Gap 2S. As we look to the future, Russia's path remains uncertain but undeniably significant, shaping not only its destiny but also the broader contours of global politics. Following Peter the Great, another ruler would leave an indelible mark on Russia: Catherine the Great. Catherine, a German princess who came to power after the death of her husband, embraced the ideals of the Enlightenment sweeping through Europe. She corresponded with philosophers like Voltaire and Diderot, patronized the arts and sciences, and implemented some administrative reforms. However, Catherine was also a ruthless pragmatist who consolidated her power and expanded the Russian Empire significantly. She successfully waged war against the Ottoman Empire, gaining control of the Crimean Peninsula and securing access to the Black Sea. Catherine's reign marked the zenith of Russian imperial power and influence in the 18th century. Please subscribe to our channel for more amazing content.